The sterile white light of the Galactic Immigration Center hummed with the efficiency of 1,000 worlds unified under one bureaucratic system. Dr. Vexnar, a Quilathi immigration officer with 4 eyes and skin like polished obsidian, had processed exactly 2,147 species in his 70-year career. He prided himself on never being surprised. Then the human walked in. "Next!" Vexnar called, his translator implant converting his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. The creature approached bipedal, inadequately armored by nature with only thin skin covering vulnerable organs. It wore primitive cloth coverings and carried a small bag over one shoulder. Its face arranged itself into what the database indicated was a smile. "Hi there," the human said, its voice carrying an inexplicable warmth. "First time off-world. Pretty excited." Vexnar gestured with one of his 3 arms toward the scanner platform. "Place your appendage on the genetic analyzer. Standard procedure for all new species entering consortium space." The human, its identification badge read, Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth, complied without hesitation, her hand pressed against the cool surface of the scanner, a device that had cataloged the genetic makeup of every sentient species in the known galaxy. The machine hummed. Then it stuttered. Vexnar's 4 eyes widened as the display flickered. In 7 decades, he had never seen the scanner malfunction. The device made a sound his translator couldn't process, something between a wheeze and a grinding halt. Every screen in the immigration center dimmed for 3 seconds. Then the scanner restarted with a cascade of light that made several nearby species shield their optical organs. Red text scrolled across every display. Primary species detected, Earthborn apex. Vexnar's throat sac inflated with alarm. That's impossible." Sarah withdrew her hand, looking concerned. "Is something wrong?" "I filled out all the paperwork. I even got the extra vaccinations." "Remain where you are," Vexnar commanded, his voice losing its practiced calm. He initiated an emergency protocol, summoning Senior Administrator Thelmach, a being whose crystalline form refracted light into impossible colors. Thelmach materialized beside the scanner within moments, his consciousness already interfacing with the machine's core systems. "Explain." "The scanner has identified this human as a primary species," Vexnar said, his words tumbling over each other. "But that designation hasn't appeared in 40,000 years, not since the architects disappeared." Sarah raised her hand tentatively. I don't mean to interrupt, but what exactly is a primary species?" Thelmach's form pulsed with colors that indicated deep contemplation. His voice, when it came, resonated directly in their minds. "In the ancient database, there exists a classification that predates the consortium itself. The architects, the beings who seeded civilization across the galaxy, they designated certain species as primary. These species possessed genetic markers indicating they were designed for a specific purpose." "Designed?" Sarah's voice cracked slightly. "We evolved naturally. Darwin, natural selection, all of that." "Did you?" Thelmach queried, pulling up holographic displays that showed strands of DNA spiraling in the air. "Your species possesses genetic anomalies that serve no evolutionary purpose. Redundant systems, overbuilt stress responses, the ability to heal from injuries that would kill most species, an inexplicable drive to explore, to persist, to adapt to environments that should be lethal." Vexnar scrolled through the data, his translator struggling with the ancient script appearing alongside Sarah's genetic profile. "It says here that humans were designed as universe seeders. What does that mean?" The crystalline administrator's form brightened. "There is more. The scanner has accessed files I did not know existed." He gestured and a new hologram appeared, a star map showing Earth at its center, with lines radiating outward. "Humanity's genetic structure contains dormant code, instructions written into your very biology." "Instructions for what?" Sarah asked, her scientific curiosity overriding her alarm. "For surviving," Thelmach said simply. "For every environment, every challenge." The architects knew they would not last forever. They needed a species that could endure anything, adapt to everything, and carry life to the dead spaces between stars. Vexnar's mandibles clicked nervously. The architects vanished 40 millennia ago. If humans were their final project, then they've been waiting, Sarah finished, her mind racing. Waiting for us to develop enough to leave our planet. To join the galaxy. Thelmock's colors shifted to something approaching reverence. The designation Apex is not a ranking. It is a purpose. Your species was built to survive the unsurvivable, to thrive where others would perish, to be the final safeguard against extinction itself. Sarah looked down at her hands, ordinary, unremarkable hands that suddenly felt like they carried the weight of extinct gods' expectations. That's a lot of pressure for someone who just wanted to study exobiology on a research station. Perhaps that drive, that need to explore, to understand, to reach beyond your grasp, is itself part of the design, Thelmock suggested. Vexnar finished processing her paperwork with trembling appendages. Dr. Chen, you are cleared for entry into consortium space, though I suspect your presence here will require significant documentation. Sarah picked up her bag, that same inexplicable smile returning to her face. Well, I did promise to make an impression at my new job. As she walked toward the departure gates, Thelmock's voice echoed in her mind one final time. Welcome to the galaxy, Dr. Chen. Welcome home, Earthborn Apex. The architects chose wisely. Sarah didn't respond. She simply walked forward, carrying within her cells the stubborn refusal to quit that had been 40,000 years in the making. Behind her, the scanner's screen still glowed with ancient text, a message written before civilizations rose and fell. When all else fades, humanity endures. This is not hope. This is design.